That's really, really heavy, that. Oh, let's see if we can get it in. Hello and welcome to a short session at Trevor Pier with plenty of action. There's 4 different things upped in this video, you'll see as it goes. As you can tell, I'm having a bit of technical issue with the sound. The adapter that goes in my camera, which links the microphone up, well, it fell over basically and bent. I do resume sound shortly before it completely falls off at the end, but we'll see what we can salvage from this video. On the right rod, we have a big squid bait with one up, one down. So we've got a big squid on the bottom and a big squid up in the water. On the little rod in my hand, I'm just fishing a little scratching rig with little bits of black lug. I only had about 4 worms with me from out the freezer. It wasn't even half a pack. I was just coming down for a short session. Out of each worm, I got about 5 or 6 baits as I was just fishing for the bits. But before I could do any filming, as soon as the first rod went in, I had this cracking little silver eel. So within a minute of the first drop in, it wasn't a blank. Well, there'd been no action on the big rod yet. I kept on dropping the little bits of worm down the side on the scratching rod. Could feel the rod vibrating and twitching. There was definitely some sort of mini species down there having a pop at it. And it didn't take long till something gave me a bite and, yep, in true GKJ style, I missed it. Anyway, it was time to get the rod back out. I was pecking my worms off, and most of the time it was always the worm on the bottom. What are these little fish? Having already caught the eel, I was unsure if there was loads of little eels down there, so I really didn't know what would be on this bite. So I held on to the rod, waiting for another little tap, and as soon as I thought the moment was right, it was time to pounce. Fish on! And the result being a lovely little colourful wrasse. I love wrasse fishing, I do. I know a lot of people don't like wrasse fishing. You know, they find them boring and just don't enjoy it, but I really do like the wrasse fishing. I think they're beautiful looking fish, and they don't half put a good scrap when you get a decent one on. They throw out some amazing colours. You can get them in all different colours, shapes and sizes pretty much. Some of them have like deep reds and deep blues on. They're absolutely beautiful fish. Anyway, let's get this little fella back and see what else is in store for us. Could there be anything bigger? So the scratching rod was ready to go back in. Just little bits of worm that was a bit sticky and a bit sweaty, to be honest, from being out in the sun. So I was just adjusting them on the hook now to try and make the worms last, because I really didn't have much bait here. Anyway, if you look at the right rod, the big rod, I started noticing a bit of twitching, and I noticed it here and there. So as this rod went in, you might see it in a second. When I'm not looking at the camera, I do notice it. I think I've noticed it now. It's pulling away from the camera, so you might not be able to see the bite that good. This was a big squid bait, and we had a bit of a better bite on it, so it was time to pick the rod up and get ready for action. What was pecking at that squid bait? We had a bit of a pull round then, but as I say, the rod is pulling away from the camera, so you probably won't actually see it bend as much. So I was holding the rod, and it wasn't long before I felt a decent pull on it. Any second now. Come on, rod, don't let me down. I'm in the middle of this voice message. There you go. Felt something on, decent-ish. I was bringing it in, still feeling something on. Didn't feel absolutely massive, but I could feel something. And it got about halfway in, and then, yep, it went slack. But what happened to the rig now, you'll all have to make your own mind up on this. I couldn't quite work it out. I had a big snood up in the water with a full squid on. That was the bait that got attacked. Something had bitten clean through the snood. There was no hook or nothing. You can all make your own mind up. Could it have been something with teeth? Could it have been a crab? Could it have been a lobster? But there was definitely a bite, and there was definitely something fighting on there. I can't work it out. I'll show you this snood now, and it's good strung line. If you go, look, there you go. It has just bit it clean off, and that had a full squid on, about 4 to 5 inch long. What do you think done that, people? From Trevor Pier. Couldn't quite work it out myself, but anyway, it was time to redo and get a bait back in the water. That baffled me. So far we've had an eel, a wrasse, and a bite off. Right, what's out there? Let's go catch it. And the 2 biggest catches of the day are still to come. Time to go again. I'll completely cut the top snood off this time and just put a new big squiddly diddly on the bottom rig. I really wanted to find out what was giving me that bite and what was on the end of that line. And I did. Keep watching because I did find out what it was. It's fishing at distance. I'm not the biggest caster, but I was trying to get as much distance as I could. And it did go a little bit. For me, that wasn't bad. So put the rod on the rest and waiting for a bite. I am sorry about this poor audio, people. I've had to cut loads of stuff out this video. There was a couple of bits and another little wrasse and stuff which is not on camera. But you get the gist of it. Anyway, tighten up, get that noodle round, and hope whatever it was I had on earlier would come back. Anyway, I'm probably talking a load of crap here, but you ain't got to listen to it for no longer, because the audio started working again. I have just had an absolutely massive bang on that squid bait. It was one almighty whack, and I mean one that's just gone bang, bang, and back up. Almost like a bass bang or a hound bang. A hound bang? Don't sound right, does it? Hound bang. Like one big, like down and up. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It looked like a hound bite, if I'm honest. I don't know if you get them round here. I guess you get them anywhere. It's in the sea, innit? They're in more places, a lot more than others, but seems to be something happening out there in Trevor today. There's some activity. The other anglers are packing up now. I'm going to stick it out for a little bit, even though I've only got about half a worm left and about 2.5 squid. I'm going to stick it out till the bait's gone. I've just got a feeling that it's not over yet. I do not think it's over yet. Oh. You're right, yeah. At least I nearly caught something. See you in a bit. I thought that was going to happen. I've got a thing for this lately. I hooked that paddle boarder the other day, didn't I, on the Menai? Oh, see that then? Could have just been settling after that, to be fair. Yeah, I seen them coming, so I thought, you know, I'll put the camera on just in case something happens. That's going now. What? Could just be settling, as I say. Could have just undone the grippers and it's just bobbing around, but it happens, doesn't it? The sea's for fishermen, the sea's for kayakers, the sea's for everything, isn't it? There's going to be times when we cross lines, excuse the pun. Looks like there's something happening, but as I say, you could have just dislodged my grippers there and that could be bouncing around now. Does look like there's something going on though, doesn't it? Yeah, looks very lobstery or crabby. So I wouldn't mind a lobster. Might be a catch and cook later. Yeah, there's something having a peck at that. Let's have a look, 'cause it could be a lobster or something tangled up. Imagine if the other one got bit off now. Like, that is heavy. That is really heavy, but it's not a fish, I don't think. Imagine if it's a big lobster now, I'd take that. That's really, really heavy, that. I reckon we got a lobster or a spider crab. I'm going to try and keep it moving to see. And this could be the myth of what... If this is a fish, it could be a ray. This is coming in and it feels heavy. Oh, come on, this would be nice to have something good on here now. Not sure. No luck now. Yeah, I don't know what this could be, people. But it's really, really heavy. It's really heavy, but it's not kicking. I've got a feeling lobster or spider crab. It's really heavy. A lobster would be all right, wouldn't it? It just feels a lot heavier than a lobster. But it's not fighting. It's just. I should be all right. I need to see what it is first. See what we're up against. It's heavy. It's really heavy. But it's not fighting. It's just a dead weight. It's an absolutely massive spider crab, and I mean, that is the biggest spider crab I've ever seen. It's a massive spider crab. Let's see if we can get it in. Ah! That's a monster spider crab, isn't it, that? Look at that thing. That explains what snipped me off earlier, doesn't it? Well, I think that explains what bit me off earlier, doesn't it? I think that well and truly explains. Oh, hooking me finger. Hook that right there. Bottom hooking. That's not the best bait in the world, but it's going in because this is my last cast. And you see it as it is on here. It's actually all right, to be fair. Look, it's presented good now. So we've had a surprise eel. We've seen the little fish getting smashed by the sand eels. We've had a wrasse. We've had an unknown thing that bit me off, but I think we do know what it was now after catching that. We've had a kayaker, or a paddleboarder, whichever one it was, kayak. We've had a spider crab, all within the last 45 minutes. That's it. Get out there. Nice. So I'm going to have another 10 or 15 minutes. I'll have a little flick around on the little rod again and have another 10 minutes. But that has been quite a little epic little session, isn't it? There's been some action. But that's almost like spoilt my dreams now, because I was thinking that could have been a taupe that picked the squid up earlier. Oh no, felt something then on the mini species. I was thinking that could have been a taupe earlier, but now the dreams are shattered and it was almost certainly a spider crab. That could be a fish on the mini rod. At this point, the sound went again. I didn't know the whole session that there was no sound. I knew I dropped it and I knew the bit had bent, but I still thought it was working. So after this bite that developed into nothing, I checked the camera and checked the transmitter that plugs into the camera, and as I went to move it, it completely snapped off, and that was the end of the microphones. I packed up in a huff and went back. Since then, though, I have ordered some new microphones and they will be here within the next few days. So you might have to deal with one more video with poor audio and then we'll be back on track. But for now, I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.